Okay, quiet on the set.
Yep.
Quiet.
And rolling.
Quiet on the set. Welcome back to our channel, YouTube. My name is Kristen Forgione. I am the founder, creative director, and principal designer of THELIFESTYLEDCO, and you are joining me here at my home, the ODL house, for what we're calling kind of the half holiday house tour, because I can't show you the whole thing because we live here, but we do have half of the house absolutely decked out, and we are going to show you what we have become infamous for, our Luxe Boho Christmas scheme this year. Come on in. If you're new here, you may not have heard of our shop, THELIFESTYLEDCO. We have 2 brick and mortar locations in Arizona and also in e-com, www.thelifestyledco.com, where we ship worldwide. And all of the product that you're going to see here and most of the furnishings in my home are available at THELIFESTYLEDCO. So I'm walking you through how I've styled and designed our holiday scheme for the first time here at the ODL house, and also going to be highlighting some of the product that you can get for your own home. Here in my entryway, the entryway in this house is very important to me, and likely you may have a space that you welcome your guests into when they first arrive. And it's probably one of my favorite spaces to really set the tone for your Christmas or holiday decor. So here I typically have like a big wild tree branch, greenery looking situation. And I moved that this year for these beautiful little evergreens with kind of like the little snowy caps on them. I love that. Always a candle burning. I want my guests to come in and instantly smell how just festive everything feels. And early on, you can also see one of my favorite kind of easy DIY hacks, if you will, or ways that you can elevate your Christmas style at home. I take velvet ribbon, this is 1 inch, and I just wrap my book stacks. So if you're living in a designed home that's well styled, you probably have a lot of those like really beautiful, expensive coffee table books. And this is a great way to just adorn them a little bit and make them feel a little bit more festive for the holidays. This year, my gift wrap scheme is very simple. It's craft paper with velvet ribbon and then just a little greenery sprig. And then I also played with this ginger ribbon and also used brown gift wrap, which I am just obsessed with brown and black together. You're probably seeing it. It was all over Fashion Week this year, and even I want to say last year is where we really started seeing it. So we are big proponents of mixing brown with black. Brown is the new black. Do not be afraid to use it, especially in your Christmas scheme. So from my entryway, we're going to walk into the great room. So into the great room, you can see why this is our favorite part of the house, right? The heart of the home, of course, is the kitchen. But I feel like in most floor plans these days, the great room is where the whole family gathers and comes together. And when I designed this house, I definitely had visions of it just lighting up and being so magical at Christmas. And I feel like we have done it. It's just so neutral and earthy and grounded and all the things that organic desert living is, but really elevated and really luxe. And all of the pieces that you see from the ornaments on the tree, which I'm gonna show you the tree last. So you're gonna have to watch the whole tour before you get to see the big shebang of the tree. But from the ornaments on the tree to everything that you see around, I feel like, as funny as it sounds, like my Christmas style is embellished, but like kind of subtle. Subtle? Does it seem like subtle? I don't know. I don't know if subtle is the word that comes to mind, but I do. And I think part of the way I do that is by kind of using some of my existing decor and just dressing it up a little bit, as I mentioned in the entryway with the books. Even using textiles. So all of the textiles that you see are all from THELIFESTYLEDCO. And like this, I just love placing just a casual blanket kind of on a side table or an area where it's easy to grab. All of your textiles don't have to be on your upholstery. You can also use them as decor. Hanging a wreath over your art, or a little laurel, a little piece of greenery, mistletoe, however you like it. Don't be afraid to adorn your art, because that will help you take the eye from ground level or like hip level, which is where most of your upholstery and your tables will be at. And it helps bring it up onto the wall, which will make your spaces feel bigger. It will help match the scale of your Christmas tree. Even if your Christmas tree is, let's say, 6 feet tall, the more you can bring the eye up to meet that, the better, the more adorned, the more grandeur your home will be able to feel when it's styled for Christmas. Lots of candles, of course. I like candles that drip. It's not always convenient. There usually is some cleanup after, but I just like that it feels like age and like they've been there forever. This built-in bench is incredible. The cushion is custom. I know you guys are gonna ask. If you're wondering more about the hardscape finishes in this house, the ODL house, we have tons of videos on YouTube that document the process of building this home from the time that it was in lumber, in sticks or framing, all the way through all of the install, every furniture selection. We have blog posts about it. So go back to our channel, like, subscribe, talk to us in the comments, and then also visit our blog at www.thelifestylco.com. We've got the information. Chances are someone else has asked for it and we've tried to provide it for you and answer it. So, but I love this little scheme. I just feel like it's so comfortable in this. Like this is why I built it, you guys. I'm in a dress, but so that I can lay here much more comfortable than the way I look now. And have my toes by the fire and like, ooh. Roaring fire, of course. We already got a question how I hung the garland without a mantle. This was a tough choice when I was designing because I think 99% of our clients want a mantle. So naturally, I didn't want a mantle because we design with a lot of mantles because most people want them. But I really wanted this just clean face front fireplace. And I can honestly tell you, I didn't know how I was gonna install the garland without a mantle until I was physically installing it. So we used a shitload of command hooks and I was able to get a real 10 penny, so big nail in on that side. This fireplace box is actually really hot and all metal behind where you see drywall, where you see smooth white wall. So I had to go far enough back that I could actually find some lumber. So I anchored that side with a big, huge nail, and then all the rest of it, which if you look closely, you can probably see them, so don't, clear command hooks. Buy the expensive ones, buy the ones that will hold like, I wanna say the highest level they'll hold is like 5 pounds, which means you just gotta put a ton of them on there. So it's been up for like 3 days and it's staying put so far, so that's good. Of course, adornments on your coffee table. I also wanna tell you that 99% of the stems that you see in the house are faux. So these are faux. I usually use all real, which I know you guys hate because you're always asking me, where did you get that huge branch? I typically get them real. So these are all faux, they're all available at the Lifestyle Co. I love how a flocked stem makes it feel like the snow and kind of like that winter weather is inside. You guys, we're in Arizona. There's no winter weather here, especially, I shouldn't say in Arizona, in Phoenix. Up north, there's winter weather, but here, like it doesn't snow. So I need to figure out, like I need that snowy scene kind of coming through in my interior because it's still like 90 degrees outside. So flocked stems I really love. The wreaths, of course, adorn your windows with wreaths. I also like putting them over door frames, depending on how tall your door frames are. All you do is you take a piece of ribbon and you just kind of loosely loop it over, and then you definitely need help. It's really hard to sight the level without a friend or a spouse or a kid or whatever. So make sure you have a helper, but that's how I did it. It's super easy. You just kind of put the ribbon around it and place them up above each window. Before I leave kind of our great room space, I wanna tell you, because I haven't gotten to tell you guys before, this sofa, modular or sectional, is called the Slight Sectional Sofa, and it is from us. And I am so impressed with this piece of upholstery. I feel like upholstery in a lot of ways doesn't get a lot of attention, either on our Instagram accounts or on YouTube, because most of what we do is custom. This sectional is not custom. It is in stock. I don't know if it's in stock right now because it changes every 5 minutes, but it is a non-custom piece. It's all modular, so it comes in corner pieces and middle pieces, and you can make your own configuration of it. So this whole upholstery set up, if you will, is all the same Slight modular sectional. It is performance fabric. We are a family of 4 with 2 dogs, a big one and a small one. We eat on it, as much as I would hate to admit it. My girls eat on it, no matter how many times I tell them not to. And even before we were filming, I was vacuuming it with just my little handheld and then taking just warm water and blotting off any little bit of stain that I saw. And it is so clean. I cannot recommend it enough. I love it. So before you left today, I wanted to make sure I told you how much I loved it. Okay, keep going with me. So we're walking here into the kitchen, which I'll show you a little bit more of in a little bit, but I actually cook here just like you do too at your house. So I don't do a ton in the kitchen. I need to be able to work around it. But the dining room. So you guys just walked into my like Christmas dinner party. No, you didn't. I wish I could have you all though. But the tablescape for the holidays is likely one of the most important parts to you, and it's definitely one of the most important parts to me. When I entertain for the holidays, I want my guests to feel transported. I want them to feel special. I want it to feel individualized. Every year I do a different scheme, and this year we kind of ended up with this like rustic, natural, little metallic hint of those earthy, natural colors. So it's luxe, but it's not glam. And like, please know the difference. Metallic does not make it glam. What makes it glam is like silver. I don't know. I shouldn't say that. God, you guys are probably gonna hate that, but just be careful with silver because it can look a little like down, like low versus like high, like brass, golds, champagne tones. And that's kind of where we ended up. So there are some champagnes, there's some pewters, black and white, high contrast. Obviously I'm framing how beautiful this space is with the wreaths again, with a little bit of that chocolate velvet ribbon. I just love it. Ribbon is your friend, you guys, and it's cheap. So even if you spend $100 on adding new pieces for your tablescape or for your decor, you can get a whole spool of like 25 yards of ribbon for so cheap. And all of the ribbon that we use here and our wrapping paper scheme, our gift wrap scheme, is all linked on my Amazon storefront. So we will put that in the description as well so that you can get everything that you need, all the components to make your table and your house look like mine. So I also love a table that looks lived in. So I burn my candles before my guests even get here. I don't want to be lighting fresh candles when my guests are arriving or at the table because I like them to have that like chalky dripping wax look. I like the drinks poured ahead of time. I just like it to feel like we've been partying all night and like there's just a candid kind of cameraman close by capturing all of the laughs and all of the enjoyment. And I just feel like decor and the vibe helps you do that. So all of these pieces are available at the Lifestyle Co. And I truly cannot wait to see how you guys style your tables with our pieces. If you don't follow me on Instagram, my handle is at KRISTEN4Gione, spelled just like my first and last name. And then our brand page is at the Lifestyle Co. Tag us. We want to see it. We want to see what you do in your own take. I also want to mention this is my all-day dining room. So don't be afraid to bring it out of your formal dining room. If you want to use this scheme or something similar for your breakfast or for Friendsgiving or for whatever kind of holiday entertaining you're doing, it doesn't always have to be formal, which is what I love about kind of how like casual these gauzy napkins are. Everything is not like super tailored. It still has a level of formality, but it's not, I don't think, intimidating or overwhelming by how formal it feels. Okay, into the bar, the most important part of the holidays. Okay, maybe your family isn't as fun as mine, but we drink a lot, right? And I know a lot of you do, so I don't think you guys will judge me too hard. But the bar is a beautiful place to make things very festive and just kind of kick it up a notch. So something I love, absolutely stunningly gorgeous glassware. This martini glass, I think this is probably like 6 ounces of what could be vodka. Which would make for a lovely holiday. These are from us along with the rocks glasses. Pretty much everything you see in here is part of the new collection from the Lifestyle Co. for Luxe Boho Christmas. And I feel like in a bar, I want, of course, the booze and the wine to be the star. It typically is, but you can usually step it up a notch, like I said, with beautiful glassware. Don't be afraid to adorn your cabinetry, your shelves. Like this laurel piece, I just love so much. I feel like it's festive and says like I'm decorated for the holidays, but not overwhelming. And the same is true with any sort of like novelty plateware, dishware. I love that this is obviously just nuts with a little reindeer guy. I love to kind of elevate my whiskeys or scotches. My husband is a big whiskey and scotch guy, so I absolutely love this little craft. I just think, again, it just like makes it just that little bit of kind of elevated, right? The whole space doesn't have to be like throwing up Christmas or holidays. You want to just kind of elevate it a little bit. Same is true over here. I don't display all of my alcohol. If I showed you what was in this cabinet, you would probably be very afraid. But before my husband was the CEO of the Lifestyle Co. 4 years ago, for a very long time, he was actually a liquor rep. So we have a ton of alcohol, and I don't want it all displayed. And frankly, even when we style and design bars for clients, we don't display it all. So be very intentional with which bottles you display. You'll notice that they're all neutral. I don't have any hot colors or any sort of packaging in the liquor department that is jarring and doesn't go with my scheme. So you wanna keep every element of your bar top notch. Think about the nicest restaurant or bar you've ever been to and how that feels, and you'll be able to replicate it at home. You guys know I love a powder room. Possibly the second most important area in the home, aside from the bar. I'm kidding, you guys. But I love a powder room and I don't want you to forget yours. Whether it's a powder room or an ensuite or a hall bath that you use, it's the perfect place to, again, just add a little bit of elevation to your space versus the everyday. So in this space, I love, ooh, that is close to that ribbon. Oh, ooh, be careful when you do that. Wow, I didn't mean to put that close. But okay, don't catch your ribbon on fire. But use ribbon, like I told you, ribbon, put it everywhere. So I just took the velvet ribbon, tied it around my light fixture. There's tons of places that you can tie it. I also tied it around an art piece in this space. I added a combination of greens and then these beautiful berries that I just think are so gorgeous. And then also an elevated soap and lotion. These are our signature soap and lotion and our signature scent. Don't have ugly soap pumps. If you can't buy ours, just don't make them not ugly, okay? No like hot green, like even just white, just a nice white, something that looks refined and polished is going to help set the tone. Remember, when your guests come in your bathroom, whatever it is, you don't have very many opportunities to remind them of the holidays and how adorned the space is because you're in a bathroom. So every single opportunity counts, from your soap to your greenery to adorning your light fixtures with ribbon. Okay, so now for the most important part of the holiday decor, the tree. I love a packed Christmas tree. And actually I also love like a Scandi tree with no ornaments. I really do. I have equal parts for both, but this year we went with grandeur and luxe, and I am so obsessed with how our tree turned out. If you want to know exactly how I did it, last year we filmed how to decorate your Christmas tree like a designer, and the video did super well. I know you guys loved it. So same exact process, just updated and different ornaments. So we will link the video in the description so that you can click right on that and learn my techniques. I walk you through every single phase of getting the ornaments on, from starting with the biggest to getting like your kind of very last layering pieces on that really elevate it. Layers after layers after layers after layers. This tree took me and our team like 5 hours. No big deal. So pace yourself, be prepared. I typically, when I'm not styling for photography and video, I typically like to do my tree first, and then I kind of adorn everything else over several days. It really helps when I style for the holidays and when I style in general to walk away so that I can kind of think a little bit about what I'm doing. I don't try to pack it all in one day because then you'll get tired and exhausted and frustrated likely, and you may end up not wanting to finish it the way you actually intended because you're trying to pack so much into one day. I also then allow myself a little bit of time to gather whatever supplies I thought I had that I actually don't have. So that's another good technique too. So again, you can see the gift wrap scheme. We linked everything in our Amazon shop. Another little tip I can tell you is it was hard for us to decide where to put our Christmas tree because it's a really important space, right? But I love putting a tree in a space that says family, right? Christmas is truly about the reason for the season, your family, of course. And I love that we were able to put it in front of this huge multi-generational gallery wall that we have that means so much to us. And I also wanted to make sure that we would have enough space for presents. You can see we have a ton of presents here. And if we put it right next to the fireplace, which is where I originally was intending to have it, or where I think the most like natural place would be, we would have ran out of room for presents. And I didn't want that at all. I wanted to make sure that the presents could have a moment and look really beautiful and just help us set the tone for a beautiful holiday season. So I'm so glad you all joined me for, I should say, like my half house holiday tour. I can't believe Christmas is here again. Talk to us in the comments. I hope you subscribe while you're here and you like what you see. If you want to get to know me more personally, I would love to catch you on the Instagram side My handle is at Kristen Forgione, or if you'd also like to follow our brand, it's at THELIFESTYLEDCO. So from me and everyone at The Lifestyle Co., I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas, and I will catch you on the next one.